Two-Face and Harvey Dent.
Morning.
You got about 5.
Hi, everybody.
So good.
So is it?
Get out of here, kid. Wouldn't that be funny? What's your name? Oh, I know that.
So, what made this a delicious role for you to play?
It was delicious, wasn't it? Yeah. That's a perfect word. Masticate on that word.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, what was the draw for you?
What was what?
What was the draw for you? What made it so appealing?
Oh, what was the appeal? Well, the appeal seems right there. I mean, juicy roll. It was fun to. What I challenged myself with was to try and do the voice organically, I guess is a good word. So it all was one thing, rather than playing the straight voice and then using technology to do the bad guy. So I allowed the bad guy to emerge out of the good guy, much like a Jekyll and Hyde thing. And just to further that concept along a little bit, there are these different voices inside our heads all the time. Should I eat that candy? Should I not eat that candy? What was going on in what's his name's head in Las Vegas? So he shot that window out and he began to spray bullets. Here he was, a mild-mannered guy, very much a Harvey Dent character, and all of a sudden he's doing one of the most incredibly, I hate to use the word evil because I don't know whether I believe that there's good and evil, but this man who sought to terrorize and kill and maim as many people as possible, knowing that he was going to die in the end, either by the hands of the law or his own hand. What vicious, monstrous thing was going on in his head? And how you might relate that in reality to a Harvey Dent character who is, as I watched the footage that they played for me when I was in the sound booth, they played a scene where the artist had a little green going here, and then it got bigger, and then it got bigger, and seeing that, I just fell into doing the voice and then coming out of it, and doing the voice, doing the Two-Face more, Harvey Dent, and playing back and forth. As the artist did his thing, I was doing my thing as the voice. It was the most spontaneous because I never planned it. I don't think anybody planned it. It was the most spontaneous part of that whole thing and made everything I had done worthwhile because of the challenge that I had.
Is it more liberating to be villainous than heroic? Because you've done both now. To play as an actor, I mean, you can go over the top.
That's all stuff. It's all, what would be a good word? It's all cosmology. In reality, playing a guy in love with a woman or an animal or a car is just as much. You try to bring a truth to everything you do, so the truth of being evil, the truth of being underhanded, thank you so much, the truth of being antisocial is just as valid as playing love. You go for the truth of the matter, and both are equal to my way of thinking.
Yes.
One of the threads they're seeing through a lot of your characters in all kinds
Start
of
again.
media. Sorry, one of the threads that kind of holds true for a lot of your characters in all kinds of media is authority.
Authority.
Yeah, you're frequently in charge.
Shut up.
I
I don't know what you mean.
Did you draw on a lot of that for District Attorney Harvey Dent and Two-Face? Where did you find that strength and that confidence that has to come from Two-Face?
Oh, interesting question. Mostly it's assumed because I'm fully aware that I know nothing, and but then I'm fully aware you know nothing, so we're both on equal ground. So I have no, I don't feel authoritative. I don't feel that I have the right or the expectation of ordering somebody around, unless it's my kids. No, it's just assume. I mean, you've got 2 cameras in your hand and a bottle of water and a T-shirt. You're an authoritative figure. Look at you. You know what you're doing.
To believe so.
Yeah. So you could say, "Would I move to the left, please? My camera's again," and you'd be an authority figure.
What was your relationship like with
Sorry?
Adam? What was your relationship like with Adam before this? Because I know you didn't work together.
Yeah, I knew Adam long time ago. We did a pilot together prior to Batman, prior to Star Trek.
Is that the Alexander the Great project?
Say again?
Is that the Alexander the Great?
Alexander the Great. So I was playing Alexander, and it was going to be a group of soldiers in the desert fighting. That was the concept, led by Alexander, and it didn't sell. So they made it into they made the pilot into a film. They shoot it as a film, and it was fairly well received. And so Adam was one of the guys, and we had an opportunity to meet there. And then each of us went our way. But we would see each other, like at a Comic-Con like this, we'd be having lunch and sit at a table and talk. And I got to know him over the years, and I really admired him. Lovely, sophisticated guy.
Was there ever a talk during the 1960s of getting you onto that original show?
The original show of?
Batman.
No, I don't know. That's quite a long time ago. How old are you?
31.
Long before.
Mr. Shatner.
I just got age shamed by William Shatner.
Mr. Shatner.
Yeah, you're a youth. Yes.
Why do you think there's such a draw to this kind of era, to the '66 Batman, to kind of an older, more kind of classic, nostalgic kind of superhero genre, as opposed to the more
if you're
modern?
talking about this movie, and it harkens back to the comic books, and comic books are kind of fundamental. They're drawn. There's a hero, the villain. You can read a little bit. If you can read a little bit, you can read the bubbles, and the panels take you through the drama, and it's quite simplistic. So it's both appealing to people who want simple things, or it's appealing to people who don't want to have to think on too many levels about this story. So the story is there, and it's a fundamental way of telling a story. I've been involved in comic books for a long time. I had some interesting stuff that I was working on that even combined movies and comic books, and that's still out there. And I'm starting a couple of new comic book ideas. So I'll be around in comic books for some time to come. And they're a really interesting way of doing this. You can make them more intellectual, more inviting to think about than or they can be simple, and you can go either way or both ways. Different comic books, which is what one of the things I'm attempting to do: make a more sophisticated comic book and make a more simple one. It appeals to basic storytelling. It's the simple. The dinosaur was attacking me. I hit it on the head. You should have seen it fall. Around the campfire.
A friend of Mariano Naceza. I just had dinner with him Friday. He
I
says
just
hello.
had dinner with him last night.
Italian place?
What did you eat?
We went to seafood ravioli. We went to Tavallo's.
Ravioli.
Yeah.
His name isn't Nacenza for anything. For
Yeah,
nothing.
well, Mariano. His
Yeah,
wife's
Mariano.
Italian, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we were talking about this because I'm working on a project like you, and where he wants to embrace art, theater. He wants to make like a live action live action comic book type of thing.
Yeah.
And here discussing that.
We've been doing that for quite a while.
Yeah. So, do you believe that comics really have no age? Because when I was talking to him, he said it appeals to children, it appeals to adults and such.
That's right.
Yeah.
Comic books. You know, it'd be interesting. I'm sure there are treaties that have been written about what the appeal of comic books are.
Yeah.
But certainly, it's fundamental storytelling. And it doesn't have to be just a Batman hero and a villain, a Two-Face. It can be on a more sophisticated level. Last night we were talking about a comic book we want to bring out that will have an astrophysicist and a psychiatrist involved in it. So it can be on different levels. It's just that, like cartoons are to kids, comic books are to a more adult audience. There's not much thinking required, and it's entertainment.
Yeah.
It's almost, I guess that's it. It's pure entertainment.
Real quick, who's a better lawyer, Denny Crane or Harvey Dent?
They're both two-faced.
Good answer.
That's the line. That's the line.
Being reunited with Julie Newmar and Merriweather.
It was Julie Newmar and Merriweather. Two of the most, when they were they are of a certain age now, and they're beautiful now, but they were unbelievable at one time.
While studying William Two-Face, did you ever go home in your normal life and the other voice comes out?
I did. My wife locked the door. And my dog wouldn't recognize me. You good? Everybody good? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.